A cat's eyes are built for the low-light ambush. Its ears can track a mouse's heartbeat under a foot of snow. Its teeth are shaped to sever a spinal cord in one strike. This is not sentiment. This is engineering. Every part of a cat was carved by evolution to kill, quickly and without hesitation. And yet, in an ordinary house, on an ordinary afternoon, a cat named Edison climbed onto the corner of a blanket. On that blanket lay a human infant only weeks old. Edison had never once been affectionate. She was not a lap cat. She did not seek attention, but that day she placed her body between the baby and two loud, restless toddlers, and she did not move. She did not blink. She did not look away. A predator had appointed herself a guard. This was not one strange cat. In another home, two cats stationed themselves at a nursery door and inspected every visitor who tried to enter. No one trained them to do this. No one rewarded them with treats. The behavior simply appeared, fully formed, from somewhere old and buried. A hunter had reclassified a human infant as something worth defending with its life. Here is the real question. What could override millions of years of predatory instinct? What switch, hidden inside a cat's brain, turns a killer into a guardian? You have probably heard the story that cats do not really bond with people. Dogs were bred for thousands of years to work beside humans. Cats, we are told, stay only for the food and the warmth. That story is comforting. It is also wrong. In 2019, a researcher named Kristen Vitale at Oregon State University decided to test it directly. She used a method borrowed from human child psychology, originally built by the psychiatrist John Bowlby, to measure the bond between infants and their mothers. The test is simple. A caregiver leaves a room for a short time. Then the caregiver returns, and the reaction in that reunion reveals the whole architecture of the bond underneath. Vitale ran this exact test on 79 kittens. When their owners walked back into the room, 64.3% of the kittens showed secure attachment. They came for a quick check-in and then calmly went back to exploring the room. That is not aloofness. That is trust. Then she ran the same test on adult cats, and the number barely moved. 65.8% were securely attached. This bond does not fade as a cat grows older. It stays. Compare that to human infants. In classic attachment studies, roughly 65% of human babies show the same kind of secure bond with their parent. The numbers are not close. They are nearly identical. Your cat is not tolerating you. It has quietly filed you away as a safe place in a dangerous world. But attachment alone does not explain a wall of muscle and claws standing guard over someone else's baby. For that, you need to go back to 1943, to an Austrian scientist named Konrad Lorenz. Lorenz noticed something strange across almost every mammal on Earth. A specific set of features: a big head, a round face, a high forehead, large eyes set low, a small nose and mouth, soft rounded limbs, seemed to trigger an automatic caregiving response in adult brains. He called it the baby schema. This is not a learned behavior. Evolution wires it in before birth. The signal goes in and the protective response comes out, with no thinking required at all. A human baby fits that template almost perfectly. So does a kitten. To a brain running on the baby schema, the two are close enough to be mistaken for each other. But sight is only the first channel. There is a second one, and it is far stranger. Your cat is not only looking at that baby, it is smelling it, on a level you cannot imagine. A cat's nose holds roughly 200 million scent receptors. Yours holds around 6 million. On the roof of a cat's mouth sits an organ built specifically to read chemical signals invisible to you. After giving birth, a mother cat's body releases something called the feline appeasing pheromone. It is a chemical lullaby that tells her kittens one thing: you are safe. You are mine. Stay close. Think about what a human infant smells like to that organ. Milk, powder, the unique scent of the household, and the faint trace of birth still clinging to newborn skin. A cat's brain reads that chemical cloud and matches it against the template for its own kittens. That is scent recognition, not sight. A cat sees a baby only after it has already smelled one. This bond is not new, and it did not start with pampered house cats on soft blankets. In 2004, archaeologists led by Jean-Denis Vigne were digging through a 9,000-year-old village on the island of Cyprus. In a single grave, they found the complete skeleton of a human. 40 centimeters away, in its own space, lay the complete skeleton of a cat. The two bodies faced the same direction. There were no cut marks, no signs the animal had been eaten. Someone, nearly 10,000 years ago, decided this animal belonged beside them, even in death. Inside feral cat colonies, this instinct scales up even further. Related females raise their kittens together, nursing and guarding as one group. Protection is never limited to a mother and her own biological litter. Any signal close enough to a kitten can trigger the same ancient response from any female in that group. That old calculation pulls in any human infant placed into that environment. It looks close enough. It smells close enough. 400 million years of mammalian wiring decides that is close enough to protect. But do not mistake this for a fairy tale. The same circuitry that builds a guardian can build a killer too. When a new male takes over a lion pride, he kills every cub that is not his own, without hesitation. It sounds monstrous, but it is a cold calculation. A nursing female will not return to fertility while she is still raising young. Ending those cubs' lives clears the way for his own bloodline instead. The exact same brain structures that cradle the weak can, under a different chemical signal, destroy them instead. Protection is never guaranteed. It is a probability. Hormones, scent, and a face shaped the right way switch it on. Different signals switch it off with the same speed. That is what makes it remarkable. This is not sentimental. It is a calculation running quietly underneath the fur, weighing danger against signal every single time your cat walks past that crib. Somewhere in your house right now, an animal built by millions of years of solitary hunting is running that same ancient equation. In your quiet living room, with your sleeping child nearby, the equation has tipped against every predatory instinct it was born with, toward love.